Hi, everyone. Richard Carlton, and welcome to FM Train TV, where every day is an exciting day. Nick Cunner will be back with us today. We're very glad he's back. Today will be day 10 of WebDirect. Tomorrow will be day 11. I want to welcome Nick back. Nick,
Yes,
welcome back. You got it. You took a nap. Are you feeling okay? You're good? You ready to kick it over?
I'm doing good. Yes, thank you very much. So thank you, Rich. Thank you everybody for joining today. So yesterday I had some issues, but it's okay. So we are talking about our FileMaker WebDirect. So last week we did something interesting. We were talking about stuff like this, right? So we work on the layout, to build a layout for WebDirect, but not only for WebDirect, but also for a real web experience, okay? Not just a FileMaker experience replicated on the web browser, right? We want something like a real web experience, which FileMaker WebDirect is made for, okay? Is made for this to give you the feeling of working with a real, website, right? So for this, you need to follow and some design guidelines and principle, right? So like everybody is experiencing when you go to any website, you have some you recognize icons, you recognize widget, you recognize things, right? So all over the, many websites are the same and they behave the same. So you need to follow the same rules, right? And the same guidelines, right? So that's very important. So last week we talked about, how to make this layout here. Let me show account. So how to make this, which is okay when we use FileMaker, right, as a client, and we want to, edit data and read data, right? But on web, we cannot have this type of experience because it is not expected. It is not something like people will understand, right? And the first thing that people won't understand. So I'm doing just a recap from last week, right? So like they do in Star Trek sometime, last time on last generation, next generation. So last time on the webinar, on this live stream, so we're talking about on FileMaker, we don't have save or edits mode. So when we type here, you go there, boom, it's done. Yeah, so these type of things are for people coming from anywhere, not knowing anything about FileMaker, right? And they use like a website, and you have this type of behavior that is scary for many people, right? I explained that a lot. So, for example, long time ago, I built something using IWP, so it's the ancestor of WebDirect, right? And and the guy said, yeah, I have a problem with this page because people are complaining that they are looking for the save button. They're looking for the save button. So he was receiving like hundreds of emails saying, okay, where is the save button? So I make a fake save button with what I could back in the day, right? But now we have a better experience. We have a better knowledge on the web experience. I was talking about that in 1999 or 2000, right? That was the beginning of the web per se. We didn't know what to do pretty much. It was like an uncharted territory. So now we know, we have experience, we have our knowledge, we have, so we know what to do. So what the people are expecting, they're expecting something like this, like they can't do anything here, right? They can't do anything, nothing happened. But when you click edits, then you can edit the thing, right? So that's what they expect, okay? So you can do plenty of stuff here, changing whatever you want. So here, this is what they expect. And then they expect a validate button or just a close button, which is like a cancel, okay? So that's what they expect to have. That it drives like a sense of confidence, right? Sense of clarity. So that's what you need to keep when you are on the web is clarity. Everything needs to be clear and simple and straightforward. You need to remove everything that is not necessary from the surface of the layout. So you need to get rid of everything that is not necessary and keep only what's necessary, right? So that's why the edit button here is very simple. You go there, you have very limited interaction, something simple. Don't forget that you are on the web, so it's pretty much. Oh, okay. So I need to pretty much on the web. This is how it looks, right? So it looks extremely similar, right? This and this, right? And so you're on the web, so you need to make sure that you have something simple, straightforward. It's very important, right? And you have the same behavior, right? So now, so we took care of this part here. Let's take care of this part here. Let's take care of this, right? So so first, what we can do, we can move that from here to here, right? Okay. So we have this type of element here. So if I use this on the web, it won't work the way it is built. Why? Because at the beginning of the live stream, I was explaining, right, that there's things that are very FileMaker-ish, and they're not understandable for the web by the web technology. Okay. So, for example, the most relevant FileMaker-ish stuff that is not available on the web, right, is what we call the click-through. So what the click-through? Here we have an object here. So we have a portal, right? We have this portal here. And behind and in each portal, we have a button, right? We have a button here. This is the button, right? So if I click here, I go there, this is the button, definitely a button, okay? So if I double click here, I can edit this, and then I can, and you can see that I have a script attached to that button, right? So what is the click through, right? So I have a do nothing here, but this here I have a button here, right? So I have a script with parameters. So this I have a button. And on top of the button, I have those fields. They are located on top of the button. This button here is there. And on top, I have those, right? I have those objects on top of this, okay? So what the click-through? FileMaker is completely, totally, perfectly fine to click here on top of this object here, on top, to click here, and that will activate the button that is underneath. Okay? So here, for example, I clicked on this, right? I click on this object, but because behind I have a button, it doesn't care if there's an object in the middle of the way. It goes straight to the button, right?
Okay. I have a question about that real fast.
Yes.
So how come you don't click the button and enter the field at the same time? Because that was my first thought is what would happen.
Yeah, because the field is not browsable.
Okay. You turn that off.
Yeah, so the field is not browsable. So that's why I don't enter. If the field wasn't browsable, the button wouldn't have been activated. So let's do this. It won't go to the button.
Oh, okay. I didn't.
It don't go. That stop the button. Stop this. Stop this. The click through is not available anymore because the fields is activated for browse mode. If I remove this, then now this is no longer a clickable, editable fields. So FileMaker is smart enough. So that's why I'm saying this is a FileMaker-ish stuff. Okay. So if I click now here, I go to the button. That's why. So what happened on the web? Well, on the web, if I click here, absolutely nothing happened. Why? Because click-through is not available on the web. It's a FileMaker stuff working on FileMaker only, right? But you see here, I have an empty zone without objects. So the button, this is the button, and is only hidden by this, and this. But here, a little bit here, right, is not covered. So what happened if I click here, for example? Well, the button happened. If I click on an object, doesn't happen. If I click outside the object, it happened. The click-through doesn't work on the web. So this is why mostly our layout built for FileMaker client doesn't work, because mostly especially on portals, we have click-through stuff, okay? Because we have a button underneath this, we have. So what is the workaround on this? Okay, what is the workaround on this? Well, that's very simple, right? You duplicate this button here, okay? So it's a duplication of this button. I mean, this object. In this one, I deactivate the script. I remove the script from here, but I keep the hidden state because I want the same behavior. But this, I don't want the button to happen here. This now is a button that has the scripts, but I'm going to make it totally, completely transparent. Right? And I'm going to put this button on top. It's on top. The other one was on the bottom. So I keep the one on the bottom with all the gray and all the thing. And I have the exact replication of this. But here I removed, on this button here, I removed the scripts. I duplicated this, and now I have it transparent on top, and this has the script. But this now is on top of those objects, is on top. Okay? So this here, I can rename the button. Well, I can rename it. I can rename the button and name it like, transparent. So the transparent button is on top, right? This is a gray, and this is the white. Okay? So I have the gray, the white, and the transparent. The gray and the white are in the background, right? And the transparent on top. So now if I save this, right? Is it saved? Okay. If I click here, something wrong. It didn't happen. Why? Okay. It's on top. Maybe I should remove this. Yes, I should remove this. Remove the hidden state. What happened? It's a layout missing. Oh, because Yeah,
Okay.
because I didn't build this. Set field, record is used. Oh, okay, my bad. It's because I have this edit. Okay, so now it's working. So if I go to notes, I click here. So now it works, right? Here, here, and here. The design of this, okay, something happened here, but it's okay. So if I click here, now it works, right? On if I go to the web, right? It doesn't work. This is weird though. Okay, so it's on top, it's in the pore, it's transparent. Why doesn't it work? I'll fix this. Click here, I click here, so that works. I click here, it doesn't work. Okay, so let me refresh this. Something might happen. No. Well, that's super weird. Transparent is on top. No hidden states. Well, set layout, go to object, not slide 2. Okay. Let's put this to see. So this is a trick I have to see if the button exists, right? I put the hand, the cursor, right? I put this. See? It's no longer, I put this. So if I go there, so the button is not there, right? It's not. Oh, yeah, it is. So it's there. Okay. So now it works. Okay. Well, so it works. It's fixed, right? And now it doesn't work on FileMaker. This is, oh, now it works here, right? Okay, so I think I know why. Okay, I think I know why. Okay, so remember, pretty much, I think here, FMSP has a bug, in my opinion, okay? Because this field here is not a global. So set global, this is not a global. I don't think this is a global. So let's check the ID current node F, the ID current nodes, and it's not a global. See what I mean? When you say why it's a global, those field where it's used as a field where where the user sets an ID to show something, to select something, to activate something. This is not a global. It should have been a global. Why? Because the script says it. The script says this. Look, set global, that is the key for the related not field, but the field is not a global. So what happened is this: when you click here, right? This record number 1, is active, it's open. So if I go there, I cannot set it because, pretty much, if I remove, now this is a good demo to show you why it's important to, because if I remove this, I say off. No, I said, show me the capture, show me the error. Okay. This is the error I get. So now it's okay. So let's commit this record here. It's committed. So I'm going there, and now I'm going here. And he said, Nick Hunter is modifying the record. Get out of here. I can't modify the record. I can't do that. Why? Because the field I want to modify is not a freaking global. So that means not only if I click here, look this. I'm here on the web and here on FileMaker, right? And I'm modifying this, right? So, and I click here and I validate this, right? So normally it should have modified this, but okay. Up, see, it shows me. So let's say I'm here in my house, and let's say somebody on the web around the world is looking at that record, and I'm selecting that notes, okay? And everybody in the world knows that I select that notes. If somebody in the world select that notes, right? Everybody in the world is knowing that this is selected because it's not a global, it's a real field. So let's modify this. And in my opinion, this is a giant big bug, right? So let's put that a global, okay? Okay. So now I can select this. Nobody knows I can select this. And I don't have errors like, oh, this field, this record is in use. I don't care. I don't care. I use this as I see these notes. Somebody else in the world is seeing this note, you know, and somebody else in the world is seeing these notes. Nobody knows. So one guy is looking at this note, another guy is looking at these notes, right? So this, and on FileMaker, I have this. No errors, no message, because it wasn't a global. So for this type of action, you need to have a global field. It cannot be a regular field. Otherwise, everybody is like modifying the first name. It's like modifying the name, modifying the phone number, right? But this field, is to display something I want, or he wants, right? So, question if we have some.
First object in a group is the top object? Question mark.
First object in the group.
I think they're talking about when the side panels pop out and begins listing them.
Yeah, so here, this, okay, yeah, I understand the question now. This is following the Z order. So what the Z order? This is something you reorganize with set back, set forward, set fronts, right? This, right? You can do the same thing with this by moving the object. If I put this object down, right? If I do this, it's like doing this. See, so I'm undoing and put back. It's like selecting the object and doing this. Boom, it's the same. If I do this, I put on the top, right? It's like doing this. So yes, you can put this behind this or this in front of it. So yes, this you can do. That the tree here is extremely important for this type of management. If you don't know how to use the tree, if you don't know how to manage this, you need to learn it, because otherwise you're screwed. Yes, so this is the last object in the Z order. In the portal, in this portal, this is the last, this is on top, this is on top, on top, on top. And this here, I was coming there, by the way. Here, now, this button here, which is a trash, okay? This is a trash, okay? Now I have another button on top of it. So on FileMaker, there's no problem. FileMaker will understand this. So I have a big giant button on top of it. This is behind, but if I click here, right? Oh no, because I have a button. Yeah, it's a button on top of button. Yeah, it won't understand. So yeah, so to make this working, right? I need to put that on top of it. So this button here is on top. This one is on the bottom, right? This one is on top, this one is on top, but it's okay. because now I can do this. If I click here or here, there's two interaction. If I click here, I select. If I click here, I delete. If I click here directly, I delete. Right? If I click here directly, I delete. I delete this one. Right? But if I click here, I select. So if I, you know what I mean? So select. So on WebDirect, it works as well. Where's my WebDirect, by the way? Right. So now this works as well. I mean, I can click here. Yeah, I need to let this. Okay. If I click here, I delete. If I click here, I select. Delete, select. That's why I like to use the hands, because the hand, you know, the finger, right? I prefer say hand than finger, because finger has some, you know, prefer to use the finger. No, we don't want the finger. So, so, but you know what I mean. So here, you know that something, boom, happening here. Boom, boom, boom. We are on the web, right? Boom, boom. See, this you select, but here you delete. See, you have a visual that something is happening, right? You see, that's why I like the hand for this type of interaction. Here, I don't have the hand. This is not the hand. This is not the selection. This is a click. But here, it's selection. No, so that's why you put the finger, the hand, okay? But here, no. Here, no. Here, no. Here, no. Here, you can do that. You can put, it's a selection as well. So you can use the hand. Here, you can use the hand. Here, no. You understand? Here, no. But here, yes, because it is a selection. This is not a selection. This is an action. Action, action, selection. But this is an action. So you give a sense, you give like an information to the users that something happened. Other question?
I don't see any, so you're good to keep going.
Okay. So now we have this. Okay. So I think it was an important matter. Okay.
Yes.
It was an important matter.
Mm-hmm.
So now here, this widget here is not really something wrong happening here. You know, something is wrong. It's not really, it's not enough to make people to understand what's going on here. Okay. So something is happening that not working are in the world of the web. You know, like let's say in design, in the design on the web, this is not working. Even on the design for FileMaker is not working. It is not. So what will work? Okay. So now, remember, so let's put that on the side for a moment. So let's get this out, right? Let's get this out. Now, here, I have the white button and I have the transparent button that is hidden. I have the white button, which is the selected button. And then I have the gray. On the gray, I'm going to put this, right? I'm going to put this. I don't want it blue. I want it black on all the states. I want it black. And also, I want it what happened here? Oh, okay. I want it here. And I want it somewhere here. So I use the padding, right, to make this button not glued to the end, to the border. Okay. And maybe I can put it a little bit more here. Okay. So now what happens when I do this? Well, I have a better understanding of what I can do. Select, select, select. And I know this one is selected, right? Why? It's because, well, I have an arrow here, and the arrow is the symbol of you go somewhere, you know, you see, you show somewhere, right? We are trained with this. We are educated on this. When it's selected, this goes away, correct? The icon goes away. I don't want the arrow anymore because it is selected. Well, but what I do want when the record is selected, I do want the trash. Okay. So I want the trash only when it is selected. So we already have a different of nodes, either a different. This doesn't work, by the way. Right. So let's remove this for now. I want this to disappear exactly like this. So I want the same appearance and disappearance and this one. So I put the same calculation. I want this and this to disappear at the same moments. So now I have the trash only on the active Here I select, here I delete. Here I select, here I delete. Correct? Okay. That was a demonstration, right? But this is not a good way to proceed. So what is the good way to proceed? Getting this button here, and I put here. Okay. Hold on a second. So I get rid of this, right? And that gives me the opportunity to arrange a little bit of this visual here, which has some problem. There's too many space here. So we can remove some of this and we can increase this a little bit, right? So now we have this visual. Looks better. We have here a glitch because, you know, I told you that, you know, are on the web, some fonts. So you need to be like, you know, we have zero padding here, which is not a great experience. So let's undo this. Okay. So let's put some padding here. We can put 2, 2 like this, or 1, 1. Yeah, 1, 1 like this, right? And we can do the same here, 1, 1. Here we can keep 0, but here we can put some. And now you will see that this will disappear. Boom. So now we're perfect here. We have a perfect vision on this and this, okay? Also, I don't know why this is not centered, and it bothers me since the beginning. Now it's centered, you know, you have this object, those 3, 4 fields are now aligned with this. So now we have a better visual here, right? It's saved, yeah. Right. So now it's perfectly aligned, right? We have another glitch here, right? Here, I understand the problem they had, right? There's not enough space between those objects here. There's two glued to each other, okay? So what we can do, we duplicate here, we duplicate, you know, and we increase the size here, right? And now you can use, because now to select those objects, you have a lot of objects, you know, like our tiled object like this. This is a portal. You can select all those objects in the object tree. Click again here. They still selected. That means look what I've done. I select all the objects that are inside, not this one, inside this portal. I have all those objects. I can select them here, right? But if I want to make them down with the arrow, right? If I click the arrow on my keyboard right now to get them down, right? You do this. So what you select all of this, and then you click on one of them. This is still selected, but the focus is now on these objects. So I can do this. So now here, it looks better, even though there's too many space now between those two, right? So I can remove this from the bottom because, you know, right? So I can put back the 7th row like this, right? And here. It takes some time to validate, but okay. So now we're good. I like it. Now we're good. You see, it looks great. We have enough space here between the objects, right? So it's spaced enough, right? Even though this is way too close from the border, right? So I can move that object a little bit here, right? Or I can resize the object inside the portal, but I prefer, you know, to move the portal away, right? So first, let's get rid of this, right? And make this object smaller, and then move this like this. Oh, here is better. I'm going to fix this, but here's better. We have space. It looks better. It feels better. Okay. So now this one is a little bit too glued to this. So you do this, right, to give some space between those two, because we have the bar here. Here on the portal, we have the border here, which I don't typically do that, right? So let's remove the border and put that here, and draw a line. So now we have an independent object. So let's put the same gray as this here. So you can copy the color, select these objects, and paste it here, right? So now we have an independent border. So it's no longer part of the portal. Now I can do whatever I want with this, right? So now we have a much better visual. So before we go to the question, right? This bar here, right? It's not necessary, and it's wrong. It's not placed on the right place, because why separate this? It's not the right place. Remove this. We don't need it, right? And put that a little bit down. So now we have a better visual here. Remove what is not necessary, right? It wasn't necessary, and I can remove this, and now I can put all those objects, I can put them up, Okay. Now the visual is clear. This belongs to this. There's no need of borders. Now we need to fix another visual, right? This line here and this here need to be aligned. And this here needs to end exactly where this starts. So 176 from the top. So now we have a much better visual. They're all aligned. So we know we don't need a bar. Remove what is not necessary. It wasn't necessary. Last things, so let's put that outside. Last thing, okay, what to do with the delete button? Well, it's a delete button. Let's make it a delete button, a real one. Let's make a delete button. And a delete button typically is not blue. Blue is good. Blue is normal. Blue is standard. Blue is okay. Delete is not okay. Delete must be red. Shouldn't be at all, right? It's a delete button, correct? And like this. So it's a delete button, right? So we can arrange a little bit this, you know, so let's make it a little bit, oops, like this, oops, and like this. And I put this on the bottom, but this will increase. So we don't need to put the button like this. We can put a delete button like this and make it centered. So let's see now how it looks. Oops. Delete button. So we delete the notes, okay? So here, we can keep it as is, which is okay, right? So let's make it like this. So now I want to have like a hover effect, right? I want a hover effect. What happened here? Okay. Close the window. So I want a hover effect. So we get a hover effect. I go to hover, and you see here you have 3 colors. So when you select a color here automatically, and you put the color here automatically, FileMaker is going to make it 3 different tones of the same color. Okay. So you go there, see, I have 3 different tones. 3 different tones, right? So here I have 3 different tones of this, you know. So hover, I want the lighter. Press, I want the darker. And in focus, I want the darker. Of course, you know, white, 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 white. Button, the icon, hover, press, white, and focus, white. So now I have a nice over effect, right? Like this. And you press, see? Okay. So you see, this is web. Get rid of the unnecessary stuff, right? Correct? It's clean. I didn't remove anything. from this original layout. All of this, the button, this, all of this, I don't need, right? You know what I mean? And you need to delete the nodes when you sure you have to, you select one. You select this one and the delete button will delete this. I mean, it's okay, right, on clients, but on the web, no. This is a web experience, much more than before. So it's cleaner, correct? So if we have any questions?
I don't see anything. This has been a really awesome session. I learned some stuff I did not know was possible.
Yeah, so yeah, go ahead.
What is with scrolling in the portal if there are more than 7 records?
But I select the option. Okay, if you have a mouse or trackpad without a scrolling device included inside, that means you have a mouse from the 1980s. Correct? So, yeah. So go, Best Buy or something, buy a mouse. So that means when scrolling, not always, when scrolling. Okay. So when you have a device, right? And you need to scroll, well, it will scroll. So if I add nodes, add a node. I don't know. This is a light version of FMSP. So, and I have another one. So now I'm scrolling, right? Well, on the web, does the same thing.
Yep.
Okay. Why it's not coming? Hello. Make sure I commit the record. Why it's not coming? Okay, takes some time. So I've scrolled, but only when I need, when scrolling. Right. So if you have a device, a scrolling device, that's what will happen. But if you don't have a scrolling device on your mouse, go Best Buy buy one. That means you have a much better experience than you ever experienced, right?
Yep.
So yeah. So tomorrow we're going to. Are we okay with the questions, or we have others?
I think so. I think we're good.
Okay. Yeah. So tomorrow we're going to review a little bit of this, because this is okay, but this part here is not good. Okay, it's not web compliant. Why? Because I can edit this. So we're back on the same problem we have here. Okay, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want, I don't want all those things directly on the layout, right? I don't want to do this, on the web, because we back on the same problem we had before with those fields, right? And the experience of adding a node as it built here, this is not great, because I don't know which one, it's not great at all. You see, look at this. I mean, it's okay. It's a big mess, okay, on the web. It's a big mess on the web. It's okay on clients, even though it's not the best. But I understand what the problematic here. What was the problematic? We want to stay in a simpler manner, in a simpler way to build stuff, right? But it's not the best. Okay. We need to limit the impact of everything we do on WebDirect, right? And here, the add nodes, this is a terrific impact for adding a freaking record somewhere. I understand the reason for that is to get the best visibility for newbies and for beginners, right? Unfortunately, when you go to the web, the beginners, you need to learn the next level. You need to go to the level 2 or level 3. This is way too much. Way too much. Go to a layout and go back here. You don't do that on WebDirect. So tomorrow I'm going to remove this and all of this, pretty much 30 lines. I'm going to remove this in 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 3,
This will
right?
be interesting. Yeah.
Right. So it will be an interesting thing. So that's why I want to do that step, But today was good to, to see how to get, this is simpler, right? This is way simpler, and I didn't remove any of the functionality. And I really recommend you, even on the not going to that extreme to have the edit button on your client. I'm not saying that you need to do that, but in terms of design and how it looks, right? This what I just explained to you here. This is the way to go, even on your clients, FileMaker clients, right? So, if we don't have any question, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think we're good now. People are agreeing that today was a good session. So
Okay, cool, yes.
thank you very much, Nick. I will let you go. I hope you have a lovely evening. Everyone who's watching
Okay,
today, thank you. Good to see you. Have a
okay,
great rest of your day. We will
okay.
see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, March. Thank you, guys. Bye bye.